Do you realize that right now, at this very moment, the divine is preparing to lift you above every limitation that has ever surrounded your family? Do you grasp that you are standing on the edge of a financial breakthrough, so enormous, so certain, so extraordinary, that when it happens, people will look at you and ask, "How did this unfold?" And the only response you'll have is, "God did it." You may not see the complete picture yet. You may not understand how it will manifest, and you may not know what God is rearranging behind the scenes. But one thing is sure: what is coming your way will not be small. God is preparing to make you the most prosperous person in your family. Not for show, not for self-importance, not for comparison, but because your life is about to become a living proof of what God can do when a person trusts in divine guidance more than their worries. There are people who have lived their whole lives believing that poverty is their fate. They've accepted lack as common. They've given in to the notion that financial struggle is something they've inherited. But you are not one of them. You are the one selected to break the cycle. You are the one God has positioned to rise above every generational financial chain. You are the one who will change your family's story forever. If you believe this message is for you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. And for a one-word comment, write abundance. And even if you feel unprepared or unworthy, God has already placed the seed of greatness inside you. That seed is waking up right now. That seed is growing. Every time you pay attention to truth, every time you refuse to give up, every time you believe that God is bigger than your troubles, you are going to witness a level of elevation that will make sense of every hardship you ever endured. You must understand something profound. Financial freedom is not just money in the bank. It is a spiritual liberation. It is God moving you from a life of limits into a life of purpose, influence, and impact. It is God removing the weight of scarcity so your mind and spirit can operate at their highest capacity. When you are financially free, you stop merely surviving and start truly living. You stop worrying about bills and start focusing on your destiny. You stop making yourself smaller and start expanding your God-given assignment. Financial freedom is not about being greedy. It is about clarity, capacity, and responsibility. And God is opening that door for you. Right now, there were times in your life when you felt like nothing was moving forward. You prayed, you worked, you held on, and still, you saw little forward motion. But what you didn't realize was that God was strengthening you in silence. God was getting you ready in ways you didn't understand. God was teaching you endurance, discipline, and persistence. Everything you went through was training for the abundance you are about to manage. The way you think, the way you react, the way you handle pressure. All of it has been shaped for where God is leading you next. You are not stepping into ordinary wealth. You are stepping into purposeful wealth, transformational wealth, wealth that will position you, protect you, and establish you. Some people never experience a breakthrough because they doubt too soon. They question themselves when God has already approved them. But you know that no matter how many times life knocked you down, you got back up. You refused to give up. You refuse to let financial hardship define your value. You refuse to let fear decide your future. That resilience you carry, that determination within you, that silent strength that kept you going, God saw it. God heard every late-night whisper of your heart. God counted every tear you wiped when no one was there, and none of it was wasted. Not a single moment of struggle will be wasted, because God is about to change your pain into prosperity, and your battles into blessings. You are being positioned right now. That is why certain doors shut. That is why certain people departed. That is why certain opportunities vanished. Nothing was taken from you. God was simply clearing the path. People who couldn't handle your rise were removed. Situations that didn't align with your destiny were shut down. Environments that couldn't contain your future were left behind. Do not grieve what God moved. Do not question what God separated. Your future is too large, too brilliant, too significant to be held back by people who were never meant to witness your success. God isolated you so He could elevate you. Inside you, there is a financial destiny that cannot be blocked. You were not created to struggle financially forever. You were not created to watch others succeed while you stayed behind. You were not created to sit in the shadows of excuses, fear, or generational limits. You were created to step into a level of abundance that shows the greatness God placed within you. The world may not recognize your worth yet, but God recognized it long before you were born. The world may not see your potential, but God shaped it with His own hands. And when God chooses someone for financial advancement, nothing and no one can stop it. There will come a moment in your life very soon when everything shifts. A moment when you wake up and suddenly feel clarity in your spirit. A moment when doors that were once closed suddenly open with ease. A moment when opportunities begin to seek you instead of you seeking them. That moment is not far away, it is closer than you imagined. Financial freedom is not approaching slowly. It is coming like a wave prepared by God. And when it hits your life, it will lift you higher than you have ever been. Your thoughts are becoming sharper. Your vision is becoming clearer. Your hunger is becoming stronger. These are indicators that God is accelerating your future. People around you may not understand why you feel this pull inside you, why you feel this inner stirring, this unexplainable expectation, this quiet knowing that something big is coming. They may not see it, but you feel it. And that feeling is real. That is God preparing your spirit for what your eyes will soon witness. Many people talk themselves out of blessings because they underestimate what God can do, but you cannot afford to think small anymore. You cannot afford to shrink your dreams. You cannot afford to limit your expectations. If God can raise the poor from the dust, if God can lift the humble to heights they never imagined, then God can absolutely make you the richest person in your family, not for self-importance, but for purpose. Abundance in the hands of someone with a pure heart becomes a tool for miracles. Wealth in the hands of someone who honors God becomes a blessing to generations. Wealth in the hands of someone who has been tested becomes unstoppable. You know why you are being chosen for this financial upliftment. Because you have experienced lack. You have experienced the pressure of financial stress. You have felt the pain of watching others succeed while you struggled. Those experiences did not destroy you. They prepared you. They trained your heart to stay humble. They trained your mind to stay disciplined. They trained your spirit to rely on God more than anything else. And now God can trust you. God can rely on you. God can elevate you without losing you. You are the ideal person for abundance, because you understand the worth of every blessing. You are not stepping into ordinary income. You are stepping into overflow. There will come a day when you will look back at your old life and barely recognize it. The struggle, the worry, the instability. It will feel like a distant memory. You will wonder, was that really me? Because the level God is taking you to will transform every part of your life. Your family will see it. Your community will see it. People who once doubted you will watch in disbelief as God rewrites your story before their very eyes. There are people in your family line who never had the chance to break free financially. They lived with dreams that circumstances crushed. They tried to rise, but were held down by life. But God chose you to finish what they could not complete. You are the one carrying the assignment they never had the opportunity to fulfill. You are the one stepping into wealth that will bless generations after you. You are the one becoming the pillar of prosperity in your family. And even if you feel unprepared, God has already equipped you with everything you need. You must believe something with every part of your being. Money does not control you. It serves you. Wealth will not change your character. It will reveal your purpose. Abundance will not ruin you. It will expand your influence. You are not chasing wealth. Wealth is being drawn to your calling, your mindset, your discipline, and your divine purpose. When God places wealth in your hands, it comes with protection, with guidance, and with divine alignment. There is a version of you that God is calling forward, stronger, wiser, bolder, more courageous, more disciplined, more focused, more aligned with destiny. This version of you is ready for wealth. This version of you is ready for financial freedom. This version of you is ready to become the most prosperous person in your family. And you feel it. You know something in your spirit has shifted. You are thinking differently. You are expecting differently. You are praying differently. You are preparing for a life that once felt impossible. You've been walking through life with a quiet strength that even you didn't fully realize. There were times when you felt invisible, times when you felt overlooked, moments when it seemed nobody understood the depth of your struggle, but God understood. God saw the battles inside you that no one else could see. God saw the pressure you carried while pretending to be strong. God saw how you kept giving even when you felt empty, and because God saw all of it, God is preparing to reward you openly in ways that will silence every doubt that ever whispered in your ear. There is a powerful shift happening in your life. And it is happening because your heart stayed faithful, even when your circumstances felt unstable. There is something extraordinary about a person whom God prepares through adversity. When a human being walks through storms and refuses to turn their heart away from God, they develop a strength that cannot be taught in comfort. This is why you are emerging differently. You are thinking differently. You are expecting differently. You are moving with a spiritual authority that you did not have before. These changes are not random. These changes are prophetic signs that your season of financial transformation has already begun. You are not about to be blessed. You are in the early stages of elevation right now. The signs are around you, within you, and ahead of you. Your spirit feels it before your eyes see it. Because God always prepares the heart before the miracle. You must realize that God does not elevate a person without a reason. Wealth from God is not just a prize. It is a mission. You are being prepared to influence, uplift, and impact others in ways you never imagined. There will be people who rise because you rose. There will be families who eat because your hands created opportunity. There will be lives transformed because you listened to the whisper of God rather than the noise of your worries. You are not being blessed for yourself alone. You are being positioned as a channel of divine provision, someone on through whom God will flow resources, ideas, businesses, and opportunities that will build a legacy that long outlives you. God is changing your mindset so you can handle the abundance that is coming. You can no longer think like someone who is merely trying to survive. You must think like someone who is being prepared to lead. Poverty is not just a physical state, it is a mindset, and God is breaking that mindset off you. You are learning to see possibilities where others see problems. You are learning to speak with faith when others remain quiet in fear. You are learning to walk boldly into rooms where you once felt unqualified. This is not chance. This is transformation. God is reshaping you from the inside out. Because true prosperity begins with internal mastery. There are people around you who do not understand the changes happening within you. They may mistake your silence for distance. They may mistake your focus for arrogance. They may mistake your discipline for coldness. But the truth is simple. You are being called into a new season that not everyone can enter with you. Your future demands a version of you that cannot be surrounded by distraction, negativity, or small thinking. You are separating not because of pride, but because elevation requires isolation. God is removing certain voices so you can hear Him more clearly. God is distancing you from certain environments so your spirit can grow freely. God is guarding your path, because what is coming next requires full spiritual strength. You were not created to remain limited by the financial struggles you inherited. You were not born to repeat the patterns of those who came before you. You are meant to break cycles, not continue them. The poverty that has held on to your family's name will not cling to yours. The limits that chained previous generations will shatter under your feet. You are stepping into a level of abundance that your ancestors dreamed of but never saw. And you are stepping into it because God has chosen you to rewrite history for your family line. There is a reason why your heart has been restless. There is a reason you feel called to more. There is a reason you cannot settle for average. That restlessness is divine. It is the voice of God stirring your spirit, pulling you forward, reminding you that your life was never meant to be ordinary. You were designed for impact. You were created for abundance. You were shaped for influence. And every dream you carry in your heart is a signal that God placed something powerful inside you. Those dreams are not your imagination. They are your spiritual instructions. People will ask you, "How did you rise so fast?" And you will tell them the truth. It was not your strength, not your intelligence alone, not your connections, but the undeniable guidance of God. Every major change in your life began with a whisper from heaven. Every breakthrough had divine fingerprints on it. Every blessing was a response to your persistence, your faith, and your willingness to trust God, even when logic told you to quit. The world tries to convince you that success is about competition, but God is teaching you that true success is about obedience. When God tells you to move, move. When God tells you to let go, let go. When God tells you to step forward, even though you cannot see the full path, step forward anyway. Your obedience will unlock abundance faster than your effort. Your alignment will open doors your strength never could. You are being guided into opportunities that your ancestors prayed for but never reached. And all of it is unfolding because you are listening. There is a powerful truth God wants you to grasp. You are no longer fighting from a place of weakness. You are rising from a place of spiritual authority. You are not behind. You are being positioned. You are not delayed. You are being prepared. You are not forgotten. You are being sharpened. Everything you went through was part of the divine process that equipped you for the level you are stepping into now. You could not lead others if you had not experienced struggle. You could not manage abundance if you had not walked through scarcity. You could not appreciate freedom if you had not tasted limitation. Every moment was necessary. Every challenge taught you something. Every hardship built something inside you that wealth alone could never produce. People sometimes assume that wealth is about luck, but your wealth will not be luck. It will be alignment. It will be purpose. It will be divine timing. It will be the result of spiritual maturity and deep internal transformation. God does not release abundance into unprepared hands. That is why your preparation time felt so long. God was shaping your patience, developing your discipline, sharpening your mindset, strengthening your character. Now you are ready for the next stage. Now you are ready to carry what God is about to place in your hands. Financial freedom is not just about money. It is about peace. It is about walking through life with a steady spirit, knowing that God is your provider, your source, your guide. It is about experiencing a level of calmness that comes from knowing that God is in control of every outcome. When you reach this level of faith, fear loses its power, worry loses its grip, anxiety loses its voice, and in that clarity, you begin to make decisions that lead to prosperity. You begin to see opportunities that were always there, but hidden by stress. You begin to attract ideas, people, and environments that elevate you. There is a shift taking place inside you right now. You can feel it in the way you think. You can feel it in the way you speak. You can feel it in the way you are drawn toward environments of growth rather than comfort. You are developing a mindset of abundance, not scarcity. You are learning to honor your time, your energy, and your focus. You are becoming more careful about who has access to your spirit. These changes are not small, they are sacred. They are the foundation of financial elevation. You must carry yourself like someone who has already been chosen. You must speak like someone who expects God's favor to meet them. You must walk like someone who knows that abundance is their destiny. You must make decisions like someone who understands that their life has meaning far beyond temporary struggle. Your posture must reflect the future God is preparing for you. When you think bigger, you live bigger. When you speak boldly, you attract boldly. When you trust deeply, you rise greatly. You must understand that God does not bless without reason. Every increase, every open door, every resource that will flow into your life is part of a divine plan designed specifically for you. There is a timing in heaven, and your breakthrough is synchronized with God's perfect schedule. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. Every delay, every closed door, every disappointment was simply God's way of ensuring that when your moment comes, it comes fully prepared, fully ordained, and fully unstoppable. Your prosperity is not an accident. It is a deliberate act of divine design, and you are the appointed vessel for it. Many people are waiting for luck or chance, hoping that opportunity will stumble upon them. But you are learning a higher law, the law of divine alignment. God is positioning your steps, organizing your encounters, and arranging your resources so that every move you make is met with provision. You are not merely reacting to life. you are responding to God's instructions. Every thought you nurture, every decision you make in faith, every action aligned with God's purpose is a magnet for financial elevation. You are learning to operate on a level that is invisible to the human eye, but completely clear in the realm of the Spirit. Your mind is becoming a battlefield where faith overcomes doubt. Every time fear arises, you are learning to counter it with trust in God's providence. Every time uncertainty threatens to stop you, you are choosing to step forward with the confidence that comes from divine reassurance. This is how God prepares leaders of abundance, through inner victory first. The wealth you are about to hold is a reflection of the authority and maturity God is cultivating in you. True riches are never given to those who are easily shaken, because God's resources demand responsibility, clarity, and spiritual integrity. Think about the generations who came before you. They may have struggled financially, but they also dreamed, prayed, and hoped for better. God is using you to fulfill the unfulfilled dreams of your lineage. Every hardship you experienced was part of the training. Every time of scarcity was a classroom. Every obstacle was a teacher. God is now promoting you to the level where you will surpass not only your peers, but also the expectations of your ancestors. You are stepping into wealth, not just as a reward, but as a completion of a purpose that began long before you were born. Understand this clearly. Abundance is not only for you to enjoy, it is for you to steward. God blesses you so that you can bless others. Your financial breakthrough is a tool for empowerment, a channel for transformation, a way to lift lives, influence communities, and leave a legacy that will echo for generations. True prosperity carries responsibility. Every coin, every opportunity, every connection that comes your way is meant to be used with discernment, with vision, and with a heart aligned to God. When you grasp this, your wealth becomes unshakable, because it is backed by divine wisdom, not human effort alone. You are entering a time where doors will open that you cannot yet see, where opportunities will arrive that seem too good to be true, where provision will flow in ways that defy human understanding. But do not be distracted by the appearance of the gift. Focus on the source. All wealth, all success, all opportunity is first and foremost a manifestation of God's power. Remember, it is God who blesses, who multiplies, and who releases abundance. Your role is to align yourself with God's will, to position yourself in faith, to act with obedience, and to walk in integrity. When you do this, nothing can stop your rise. You are learning that patience is as valuable as action. There is a rhythm to divine timing, and rushing the process only brings confusion. Every delayed opportunity is God's way of strengthening your faith, sharpening your focus, and ensuring that when provision comes, you are ready to receive it without compromise. Do not be discouraged by waiting. Do not be frustrated by what has not yet arrived. The very fact that you are still standing, still praying, still believing is evidence that God is preparing something far greater than your human imagination can conceive. Your vision for wealth is no longer small. Your prayers are no longer tentative. Your hope is no longer timid. God has awakened a hunger in you that will not settle for average. You are ready to claim what is rightfully yours, not through manipulation or shortcuts, but through divine partnership. Every idea, every insight, every skill you possess is being multiplied under God's guidance. You are not merely earning. You are manifesting God's plan on earth. Your life will become a testimony of divine provision, a living proof that God honors faith, obedience, and perseverance. You are breaking generational patterns not by chance but by design. Your family, your community, your entire lineage will feel the ripple effects of your elevation. God is using your success as a signal, a beacon, a declaration that limitations are not permanent, that destiny is not delayed, and that no one is powerless when aligned with divine purpose. Your rise is both personal and prophetic. Every financial milestone you achieve carries a spiritual weight. It confirms God's faithfulness and reminds others that God is still in control. There is no obstacle too great, no debt too overwhelming, no past failure too severe, that God cannot transform it into a stepping stone toward abundance. Every challenge you faced was a rehearsal for triumph. Every setback was a lesson in resilience. Every closed door was a preparation for a door God will open wide. The wealth you are about to hold is not simply about comfort. It is about capability. God is equipping you to handle responsibility, to expand influence, and to create impact that will outlast your lifetime. Even your habits, your choices, your routines are being refined for this season. God is aligning every detail of your life with a destiny of abundance. You are learning discernment, developing strategy, and cultivating wisdom that will multiply what you touch. You are stepping into a season where your resources will grow exponentially, because God is now releasing the principle of increase into your life. And as you receive, remember that generosity, integrity, and stewardship will amplify every blessing. Do not be misled by appearances. Just because your bank account has not yet reflected your potential does not mean your breakthrough is delayed. Just because opportunities seem scarce does not mean God's provision is absent. Faith sees what eyes cannot. Faith acts on what is invisible. Faith moves mountains while the world doubts. Your wealth is already decreed. Your financial freedom is already written in the blueprint of your life. All that remains is for you to step fully into it with courage, with trust, and with unwavering expectation. You are entering a time where you will speak and doors will open. You will act and resources will appear. You will plan and opportunities will align. God is orchestrating a level of divine favor that is both immediate and lasting. Your hands will not be empty. Your efforts will not be wasted. And your obedience will never go unnoticed. God's provision is precise, timely, and abundant. Every step you take in faith is a step toward a reality that will astonish you, your family, and everyone watching the unfolding of your destiny. You are about to witness a transformation in your life that is both external and internal. Your bank account will grow. Yes, but your faith, your confidence, your character, and your vision will grow even more. You will learn to manage wealth with wisdom, to influence with integrity, and to live with purpose. God is not merely giving you money. God is releasing authority, power, and insight that will allow you to sustain and multiply everything you receive. Every prayer you whispered in secret is now being answered openly. Every seed you sowed in faith is now returning in a harvest that will amaze you. Every act of perseverance, patience, and obedience is now producing fruit. You will become a living demonstration of God's faithfulness, a person who was once limited, now unlimited. A person who was once struggling, now thriving. A person who was once uncertain, now unshakably confident. You are becoming the most prosperous person in your family because God has chosen you, because God trusts you, because God's glory is reflected in your eyes. Your advancement is not just about the wealth itself, but the transformation it brings. You will gain clarity in decision making, courage in leadership, wisdom in handling opportunity, and peace in every circumstance. You will learn to honor God in every transaction, every choice, every investment, every relationship. The abundance that comes to you will serve as a tool, a testimony, and a tower of influence, ensuring that your rise is meaningful, sustained, and spiritually aligned. Your future is calling, and it is calling louder than any fear, doubt, or limitation you have ever known. Your destiny cannot be held back by circumstance. Your breakthrough cannot be stopped by opposition, and your wealth cannot be delayed by the world. God's hand is upon you. God's favor surrounds you. God's provision is chasing you. You are being equipped, positioned, and released into a level of abundance that will redefine everything you once thought was possible. Now, listen carefully, because this is the moment where your heart must decide. God has brought you this far, and God is calling you to step fully into the fullness of your destiny. This is not a time to hesitate. This is not a time to wonder if you are enough. This is the time to rise, to examine every thought, every habit, every choice, and ask yourself, am I walking in alignment with the purpose God placed in my life? Are my days, my words, my actions reflecting the divine plan that is already written for me? God is asking for your obedience, your courage, and your faith. And in exchange, God will pour into your life a measure of abundance that will leave you speechless and grateful beyond measure. It is time to awaken the greatness within you. It is time to leave behind every fear, every doubt, every limitation that has whispered lies into your spirit. You have been equipped, strengthened, and prepared for this season. God has not forgotten your prayers, your struggles, or the long nights of perseverance. Every tear, every moment of faith, every act of endurance is now being honored. God is standing at your side, ready to lift you into a reality where you will walk in freedom, where your spirit will rejoice, and where your life will become a living testimony of divine faithfulness. Take a moment to look inward and reflect. Do you see the power God has placed within you? Do you feel the stirring in your spirit? The fire that cannot be put out, the hunger for purpose that cannot be silenced. That is God speaking directly to you. That is God reminding you that you are capable of more than you have ever imagined. That is God calling you to step out of the shadows of limitation and into the brilliance of your appointed destiny. You were created for abundance, for influence, for greatness that reflects the glory and wisdom of God. Now is the time to act with boldness. Now is the time to align every part of your life with the divine will. Now is the time to embrace your calling with courage, clarity, and unwavering faith. Walk in the confidence that God has already made a way where there seemed to be no way. Speak with the authority of one who knows that provision, protection, and favor are yours. Because God has declared it, live with the certainty that nothing can stop the path God has prepared for you. Renew your purpose. Examine your heart. Let every step you take be intentional. Let every decision you make be guided by divine wisdom. And let every action reflect the trust you place in God. You are not here by chance. You are not a coincidence in this world. You are a chosen vessel called to rise, called to lead, called to prosper, and called to inspire. The financial freedom, the abundance, the influence, and the impact that awaits you are not merely possibilities. They are promises from God. So stand tall, speak boldly, move forward with courage. Lift your eyes to the heavens and declare with faith that you will not settle for less than what God has prepared for you. Trust in the timing. Trust in the plan. Trust in the power that God has placed within you. Walk with confidence. Walk with integrity. And walk knowing that the life of purpose, abundance, and divine blessing is yours. Let your heart, your mind, and your spirit rise to meet the greatness God is calling you to. God has chosen you. God has equipped you. God has ordained your prosperity. And today, as you step into faith, as you embrace your calling, and as you surrender fully to the divine guidance of God, you will know beyond doubt that nothing can stop you, nothing can limit you, and nothing can separate you from the destiny God has set before you. Rise, walk boldly, and let your life become a living testament to the power, the faithfulness, and the glory of God.